offer us any kind of comfort. Oh, I'm sorry.
Marco MUZZO made his first public comments in court this morning. GTA commuters are dealing with a messy commute today.
Of course, if you listen to the pundits, we weren't expected to win too much, and now we're winning.
Republican presidential hopeful Donald Trump takes Nevada. Hi, and welcome to Humber News. I'm Katie Jones, coming to you from our newsroom here at Humber College North Campus. In Newmarket today, the second day of the sentencing hearing for Marco MUZZO is underway, and he has addressed the court on his own behalf. MUZZO told the court he is sorry from the bottom of his heart and that he will spend the rest of his life attempting to make amends for his conduct. On Tuesday, the court heard impact statements from the parents of the Neville Lake children who were killed in the crash on September 27th.
What hope is there when your entire world is gone? Every single piece of our lives have been altered. If I could figure out a way to crawl into my children's coffin, I would do so.
The Crown wants MUZZO to be sentenced to 10 to 12 years in prison. Earlier this month, MUZZO pleaded guilty to 4 counts of impaired driving causing death and 2 counts of impaired driving causing bodily harm. It was a messy commute in the GTA this morning, and it's not over yet. A special weather alert issued by Environment Canada says a low-pressure system coming from the U.S. is to blame for the mix of snow, rain, and ice pellets today. The projected amount of snow varies, with estimates anywhere between 2 centimeters in the GTA to as much as 10 centimeters further north. Heavy rain is expected this afternoon, and that's sure to affect the evening rush hour. The storm has also affected us here at Humber College. Commutes were slowed down this morning, and a lot of people were late coming in. Our reporter Tamara Shade has more.
Elementary schools in the York area are closed today because of the frigid temperatures and freezing rain. But that didn't stop Humber College North students and commuters from making their way outside.
So when I was coming, so there was a flurries, like sparkling flurries. You cannot even imagine what happens to me at that time, because when I was coming there, so my face was like burning.
Some commuters huddled under the bus sheds trying to keep warm, but one said the weather is not too bad. You just have to know how to dress.
Yeah, I'm already bundled up right now, so I have a hoodie, jacket, I have boots, so I'm prepared for the weather.
One student had warmth on his mind, thinking of how he is going to keep warm tonight.
I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna turn on a space heater, and I'm gonna lie under the blankets and watch TV.
We're looking at some severe freezing rain conditions here in the city today, so grab a coat and some boots. Or you might just want to sit this one out, guys. I'm Tamara Shade, Humber News.
Meanwhile, the storm is taking a toll in the U.S. Weather warnings have been issued for Alabama following the destruction left behind in the southeastern U.S. Several tornadoes tore through southern Louisiana and Mississippi yesterday, leaving at least 3 dead and over 30 injured. Governors for both states have issued a state of emergency. The small town of Covenant, Louisiana, was hit the hardest. Over 100 mobile homes were destroyed. Schools and government offices have been closed as the weather warnings continue. Back at home, a 14-year-old girl is facing over a dozen charges in connection with the stabbing that occurred yesterday at a Pickering high school. The stabbing took place at Dunbarton High School at around 8:30 a.m. 5 students and 2 teachers were injured and 4 were sent to the hospital. The girl has been charged with 6 counts of assault, causing bodily harm, 7 counts of assault with a weapon, and possession of dangerous weapons. An update now on how the status of Local 79 bargaining with city officials. Tim Maguire, the president of the Canadian Union of Public Employees, met with reporters a short while ago. He says negotiations are moving slowly and members will be continuing their Work to Rule campaign. On Monday, 20,000 inside workers began the slowdown but have not walked off the job. South of the border, Donald Trump just seems to keep on winning. The Republican presidential candidate secured close to half of all the votes in the latest primary in Nevada. Marco Rubio narrowly edged out Ted Cruz for a second-place finish.
We won the evangelicals, we won with young, we won with old, we won with highly educated, we won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
Despite his loss, Texas Senator Cruz says he's still the only one capable of toppling the real estate tycoon.
And the undeniable reality that the first 4 states have shown is that the only campaign that has beaten Donald Trump and the only campaign that can beat Donald Trump is this campaign.
The last of the key primaries will be next week, or Super Tuesday, and will include Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and Virginia, all states that Trump could take. A small plane crash has killed 23 people in a mountainous region in Nepal. Police officials say the plane crashed early Wednesday morning, killing everyone on board. 3 crew members and 20 passengers were aboard the small passenger plane. Officials say the flight lost contact with the airport early in its 18-minute flight. They say poor weather may be to blame for the crash, as it appears that the plane flew directly into a mountain. This is the first fatal plane crash in Nepal since 2014. New video out of Syria today showing more bombing, even though major parties have agreed to a truce. 4 separate videos were shot by amateurs. The news agency Reuters says it's believed them to be authentic. First response teams rushed to pull survivors from the rubble to bring them to medical centers. On Monday, the United States and Russia announced plans for ceasefire starting Saturday. And just yesterday, the Syrian government and most opposition groups agreed as well. The ceasefire does not apply to the militant group ISIS. Europe's refugee crisis is making headlines again in France. A French court has delayed a decision whether to evict thousands of refugees from a camp near the English Channel. The court order has put off destroying half of the crowded camp known as the Jungle, but bulldozers are rolling through the settlement ready to act. It's estimated 34,000 people live in the camp. The Jungle has a school, a mosque, a church, and dozens of shops and restaurants. A final decision is expected Wednesday or Thursday. In Cuba, Ramon Castro, the older brother of former leader Fidel and current president Raul Castro, is dead. Cuban media reports say the 91-year-old died in Havana and his cremated remains were taken to his birth town. Castro aided his brother's revolution in 1959, but never took up arms. Known by his nickname Mongo, Castro preferred tending crops and livestock and served as agriculture advisor in his brother's governments. He leaves behind his wife Aurora and 5 children. When we come back to you, we'll be telling you what's happening in the world of sports, and Ryan Durkee will have your 3-day forecast.
Clearly, the storm has made its way into the GTA. We're going to see some more of this awful weather moving into tonight with some rain expected and a low of 2. All of your full 3-day forecast after the break.
Baby pandas will soon make their public debut. Visitors will finally see the panda cubs up close and personal in just over 2 weeks. The Toronto Zoo has announced that the cubs will get their close-up on March 12th. Meanwhile, the pandas still don't have names, and you've got a couple more days to vote what they should be called. The cubs were born in October, the first to be bred in Canada.